Hello friends, in this video I will be showing you practically how we can create a business layer and its various components and various topics related to the business layer. So the theory section which I already covered in the earlier video, so the link for that video is available in this video description. You can go through it first to understand what is business layer, and in this video I will be showing you step by step means how we can create a business layer. So this is the information design tool which is opened, and I have already data connection created and a data foundation is also created. Now if I want to create a business layer, then right click on this project, click on new, and then in new you will find option to create business layer. There you click on this business layer. Once you click on this business layer, a pop-up window opens which will say that relational data foundation or OLAP data foundation. So relational data foundation, which means you must have a data foundation created already, and that data foundation connects to the relational database. So we can select that if you have the data foundation. If you want to create a business layer based on the OLAP connection, then you will not need data foundation, because OLAP is OLAP cubes already is having all these dimensions and measures as a means it acts as a data foundation when we are connecting to OLAP data sources. So in case of OLAP we don't need a data foundation, and while for the relational databases we need relational data foundation. So I have data foundation. So click on this relational database foundation, relational data foundation, and then we can give the resource name, that is the business layer name. So I will say desk business layer. I can give the description something which is means this is again about something which is we can give based on the business need or whatever means what it describes about a business layer. So once we click on next means we will see the list here, whatever the data foundation is available there. Connect to the data foundation. Okay, once we click on this means there are two ways. If you see this automatically create folders and objects, I will show you means what is it means. For now I'm just uncheck, I'm not selecting that automatically create folders and objects. I'll just finish it. Now if you see means, so once you have created this test business layer, you will see different options here. So the name which I gave to this business layer, the description, this is the description. I can change it here. So again something. Okay, if you go to the summary, you will have these options. What is business layer means, once we create a attributes dimension for folders, then it will count these values means how many. Then data foundation, so in data foundation how many standard tables are there, how many joins are there, it will show up here in summary. Parameters, if you have anything parameters like means if you want to add means we can click on this parameter, which will we will see this in later detail. Query options, so we can query limit, we can limit the size of the result set to some whatever we want. Execution time to 10 seconds for 10 minutes for executing the query. If we can check this, if you want to means if this time limits exceed, then we can check this to get the message of warning. Query options, so allow use of subqueries, allow complex operands like and or, allow use of union operand, intersects. This we can select multiple SQL statements for each measure. So we can have this as well means while selecting. Allow query stripping, so query stripping is again option which we can say means what are the objects which are we are adding in a select statement, those will be only retrieve the data. Means it is for the performance of the query that I'll take with the example, means how it affects the performance. And below you will see data foundation. Whatever the data foundation it is based on, it is having all the tables. Comments, this is again comments which we can give it here, something about the business layer, core business layer. If you want to add a core, means I mean, suppose we have one core universe and we wanted to link that to this universes, then we can add this to the core universe. So in case of large projects, this option is useful. And custom properties, if you want to, means we can select, means suppose this is again means based on some custom requirements. If you want to, means in that way we need. Okay, so this is about business layer. Now from here the first step is we can create a new folders from here as well. If you see, there is an option with business layer, queries, parameters, and list of navigation paths. So if you see, this is business layer, this is queries, parameters, and list of navigation path. So let's come, means I'll go to this one by one after we create some of the objects here. So first step is creating a folder. Suppose I am creating a sales folder. Once I select new, then if you see this description, I can give some so sample folder, I can say here. I can give some business description, so just to understand the um, functionality of that folders. So this is if you want to active, hidden, deprecated. So these are the options, means if you don't want to be active. Custom properties, if you want to add, means the contents. For now I'll not select anything, I'll just save. So I can create another folder. Suppose I will say client and save. Okay, so this is one thing which I have added. For sales, let's add few objects here. For from sales data, like suppose I wanted to add a sales data here, I can drag it. If you see, the sale data got added here in this, and this is added the dimension. The other way is other way to create manually, it is to create a dimension. So suppose this is I wanted to have let's suppose this is the invoice ID. This is the dimension I want. Description, it is fine, you can do it. These are the different data types we can select. This is string, I can say, means it's fine. From the SQL assistant, means I can go through it. To add any of the objects, means I can go through, say, SQL assistant. Suppose I wanted to add from sale ID, validate, click on OK. So if you see this means these options, keys, advanced, these are options: control, restricted, confidential, private. So based on the business requirement, these options comes into the picture, and we need to change its level, access level. Then results can be used: results, condition, sort, display, create a display format. We can create a display format, means like this. Suppose you want to change it, alignment, border, shading, font. So the different custom formats. If you want database format, if you want to change it, we can change it from here. Source information, custom properties. So this is again a dimension we can create. So so this is one thing, means if you want to create a subfolder as well, means I can go to this, and this is we can say subfolder. It is in sales and sales folders. So here we can have other objects, like suppose we wanted to have model price here. we can change its dimension to the measures. uh, to create a measure as well means suppose I am adding a measure here. Sales total. So here we can have like some of the like suppose we have price range, and so sorry, not price range, it should be let me check this. If we have sale total, yeah, sale total is there. Okay, sum of sale total. See, that means we can have this aggregation. uh, from this we can select, we can select if you want to create if you want to create a measure of attribute objects as well, means based on the data like suppose let's create one of the client name. So I will create one dimension here, client name. So client name is here, from we can have client first name and last name. So suppose first name we can concatenate with its first name. So other way means if we want to see the data as well, right? If you see means if there is an arrow means what type of data it is there, means we can get the 200 rows there, means which, so this is valid expression which will have this expressions. So once we add, means if you want to verify the data, means whether we have added the object correctly or not, click on show values. You will see these values, last name, first name. Okay, so this is again means at runtime means we can change it, check our data when we are adding. I will be going through each and every detail on this, where conditions, means how we can restrict the data for objects in coming units one by one. So this is one objects which I have created as a dimension objects. On this I need to create an attribute. So what I need to do, I can click on right click on it, new attribute. Suppose I just wanted to have address, client address as a attribute. So I can, what I'll go to the client, and this is an additional so this is the attribute. If you see, this is with the star mark, it will be attribute. This blue icon will be your dimension, and this yellow icon will be um, yellow square, which is nothing but a measure. So these are the different objects which we can create. So there are many objects which we can create. I have already created one business layer already, just to show you means how we can create all these things. So these options, if you see, if you want to expand this, you will see these are the objects, these folders. This is the main folder, this is subfolders, and under each subfolder there are some objects. These are the dimensions, these are the measures which are created. See, if you see these are the some measures which I have created. One more thing I'll be showing you means how we can test this data. So this is the final universe which is got created, we can say. So apart from this, means if you want to verify the data here in this, means instead of going to the web intelligence reporting tool, we can verify the data of these objects here. Go to the queries, so we can add this query here. So you will see this option here, means below business layer there is an option, means if you click on this insert query, you will get this all these objects which are created. This is the same query panel which is we use in the web intelligence rich client tool or web intelligence tool, where we use to create reports based on these objects in the query panel. So suppose from client I suppose I wanted to add a region or a country, and I just wanted to have a sales figures, and if I say refresh, so this type of data it will give it there. So this is the way we can test our data here at itself, means once we create it here. So now if you see, this is the query got created. We can give this like suppose is test sales revenue, and if I click on this execute query, now if you see, means this is country and sales revenue has been displayed here. Now if you go to the distinct values, means actually there is only three values, or sales revenue three values, and we can have it graphically as analysis as well. Means if you go to the analysis, we can have this country and sales revenue as like this on a x and y axis. We can change it to bar chart, area chart, or 3D column chart, anything, means if you want. Means this is very useful tool actually, means when to analyze the data, means when we are doing invoice design. And this is again, means we can have in a tabular format as well, means, and chart as well. So in tabular format as well, means we can save it as a file as well as a .csv file. If you see, this is an extension or .xml file, we can select, and just for our verification. Okay, so this is about verifying the data. Means let me go back to business layer. I just wanted to show you one more thing about delegation. Means see, means for average some of the things which is not possible in business this information design tool, we can delegate the task to the database. So for that purpose we can use delegated option here. So this is nothing but a smart delegated measure. Okay, so this is all about business layer. Means all these objects and all those things, we can change the properties for particular objects, access level, public, private, associate, list of values. I will be taking this in another video. Okay, so this is the way, means we can create a business layer. So based on the data foundation, relational data foundation, you I hope you have understood this concept. Means if you have any questions, means how we can create this business layer. So just one thing is, means when we are done with this business layer, means what we can do, we can just right click on this and we can publish this universe to the repository. Okay. And so once we are done with this universe, it will be deployed to the repository as a .unix universe. So this is done. Let me recap this all these things. Means what is the first step? First step is creating a project. So once we are once we are done with this creating a project, we need to create a local connection and then make it as a secured connection by publishing to the repository. Then second step is creating a data foundation. So data foundation will be having all these objects, all these relational tables and their respective joins. And then once we are done with this data foundation, we can build a business layer based on this data foundation, which will have different folders, and in that folders will have dimension objects and dimensions, measures, attributes, and that will complete the US design process. So there are other things which we need to consider, means while designing, means there are many things which I will be covering in the next units, in a more complex universes which we need to understand what are the topics we need to cover. So I hope you have understood this. If you have any questions, then please put it in the comment section. Please like my video if you like it, and subscribe to my channel so that you will get to know about my next unit video. Thank you for watching.